Hello everyone, Phoenix61 here. We have unlocked the Prussian, and I've just gotta make one call out here before we start this video. Wait for it. If, if I can't dev strike a broadside Minotaur in this ship, what are we all even doing here? What is going on with my life? But yes, this is our intro video to the Prussian, right? This is how I have outfitted it. Pretty typical of what you would expect for a sniping style battleship, which you don't get a lot from the Germans, right? But yeah, 19.9 kilometer firing range with no like real buff there. I did, so I am using Franz von Hipper, right? He's a free-to-play commander. We did pull Arthas the Cold off of a crate from Livestream, so I was playing around using him, and he's good for it, right? And then I had Colorado on there as well. Right, if you don't have Arthas the Cold or Colorado, right, my recommendation is just build into AP shell damage is what I would do, right? But yeah, he's got this Night Spirit, more damage against, each ship type. And then I did go Dispersion there. You could do On Second Thought for the better reload. The reload is pretty quick with this thing too. And then reaching out for range. And then I went Will to Rebuild. I know a lot of folks like Fight Fire with Fire. I think you could go either way. You do you in that situation, but I don't have Arthas upgraded very much. I think I have level 7, right? The key to upgrading him for that base trait is it makes the fighter out there not as it shortens the duration of the fighter, right? So I had only played 2 games in this ship, so I was rocking 100% win rate so far, but it's only 2 games. But I was like, oh man, it's a fresh ship. It's so rare. Like, let's go screw this up, right? Like, but I think by game, I think I had 3 wins in a row with it, and then the 4th game, I wrecked it all and wanted to quit at life, right? But we'll go into a few games here, right? So this is I consistently was having high damage games and good games with this ship. It is definitely I can't even think of the last time I got this excited over just a campaign ship, right? So this one's definitely worth the $10 or whatever to get through the campaign. Make sure you've got enough time to like get through it though, right? Like, so I did buy the Admiralty backing right away. I knew I was interested in this, and then we're progressing towards the Hindenburg and all that other fun stuff, right? So I knew I was going to pick it up, so we got the Admiralty backing right away, which gives you some extra missions each week to kind of boost your progress, right? So if you did what I did and played through without spending extra doubloons to boost your campaign speed, which I saw people out there doing, right? Because I saw people having this thing the week before, but this week would have been the week you would have unlocked it, and I didn't have time to play it, and then 2, didn't have time to do the videos once I got a few games in there. But we'll take the shot here at the Brisbane. You can see we've already got the breast went down already, right? And we did quite a bit of chunky damage to him before as well. And then we'll pick on this Brisbane. He's got the longer range torpedoes, right? So it's kind of smart to hang, we'll chill here for a hot minute, right? And see if those come through. I think they're like 13 kilometers and he's at like 16, right? So just depend on when he sent those. But nice angle on this Yamato. If he keeps creeping forward, we should get a chunk of damage out of him there. Just like the accuracy on this thing is great for only shooting 8 bullets, right? 8 cannons with this. It is nice. It is great. Yeah. No complaints thus far, right? It's huge, right? It's slow, and it takes forever to turn, right? Like things that you would expect from a floating city, right? But like this firing angle even is freaking awesome, right? So yeah, you'll notice we're popping the right, we'll send the fighter out right before we're about to get right before shells are about to land. And so even with not having Arthas upgraded all the way, I'm still getting 2 salvos out of his perk here, right? So that would have been our second one, and then now we're on cooldown for the fighter. we will help out with the Colbert if he stays spotted when we got guns loaded here. You guys know me. I'm all about that. Especially if we sneak the kill in here. 3 hits! That is why you shoot at destroyers. Yeah. He dead. Alright, a fellow Prussian out there, right? I'm sure I'm saying the name not quite right. You guys know me, I'm terrible at pronunciations. I screw up the American ones too, so yeah, it's not that big a deal. We do have the sonar with this ship. We will put that to use later. I don't think this game it comes in too handy, right? But I think I've got a 3 for you here today, right? So I don't do. Look at it. Looks like 1 bullet. Look at that. All 3 of them. All 4 shells hit. This is insane, right? So this GK is calling me out, like, because I am getting far out of play here, right? So we do need to make a move here, but. The reality too is we've got 2 ships we can shoot at, right? We've got this other Prussian, and then we've got the Brisbane that's out there as well, right? So I just wish we had gotten more damage out of him. That one didn't turn into a laser beam like the others did, right? But yeah, he keeps getting annoyed with me. I'm like, bro, like we're winning, but I'm like, I'm not even like practicing what I preach here, right? Like we're like getting in, into the meat and guts of this game, and I'm still sitting back here in the background at full health, right? But it's not like we aren't pulling our weight here, but we will start turning in to support. And there's those torpedoes I was talking about, right? So Brisbane's got those longer range torpedoes, so the GK managed to miss those. He does have his own sonar he could use if he needs it, right? If he times that right. And then it looks like we might get some ships to angle for us here. We'll go for the cruiser first on this one. See if we can get him off the board. Swing and a miss. 1 overbed. I obviously didn't lead him enough. That was user error there. We got a better angle on the the battleship, so we'll take the shot at him. I just love how these bullets fly on this thing too. Like, this is so fun. Brisbane. Like, whoever is going to give us more broadside sidewall, I'm going to shoot that dude, right? So, but yeah, as you can see, like, if we had cleaned up on this side too early and I was out this far, right, we would be playing Sailing Simulator for the majority of this game. So there goes Brisbane finally with all the overpens we put through him. So now it's the Prussian on Prussian. They got this GK out here, though, of course. Right, they've only got 4 ships left on this team. For this game, we have a little bit more competitive games coming too, right? Where we do. I think all 3 of these are up in the like 200 grand in damage, like range. We might cheese this kill here too, right? We didn't do all that work either. Another GK off in the distance. We will line him up here. And then we're gonna have our fighter loaded, right? So I try to use them as often as I can, like even if I don't have the perfect shot, right? With the legendary tier ships, you get 7 of these fighters, right? So we pop the fighter there, and as the shells land, right? So that gives us a 20% damage boost. It is significant, man. It is it's better than I expected. We watch all the other content creators that have had Arthas all these years, and now we finally had opportunity to pick him up, right? So looks like GK, somebody's got him flooding or on fire, I think, here, so he is probably going to go down. We will continue to push up into this zone. We're gonna have a hot minute here. This is the one I was talking about. We're slow, right? We're slow to get going, and not that fast. I mean, we're almost up to 30 knots. But like the range here is great, right? So we're gonna instantly, right? He's still 19 kilometers out, and we're gonna have a good shot on him here. And then I think the last cruiser is a Stalingrad. Yeah, 1 hit there. So it doesn't land every shell, every salvo, right? Got a little excited earlier, right? But yeah, perfect angle to shoot this Prussian at. So we'll just keep taking these shots. I mean, really, it's the only thing we can shoot at anyway, right? So why wouldn't you? But we'll keep throwing bullets at him. Stalingrad is in range now as well. He's got a little bit less health, plus he's a cruiser. We'll see if we can maybe get rid of him here. I took what auto-aim gave me when I zoomed in, and then I aimed a little bit higher than that. Oh, we did get him there. I was like thinking that we ended up missing that something, but we got him there. 3 overpens there still, though. But that popped Confederate for us as well. We'll see if we can... So that's kill number 3, right? So no Kraken for this game, right? Even if we get this guy, that'll only put us at 4. But we should do pretty good XP-wise, right? Especially if we get this zone capped. 3 kills, 3 assists, 4 defends. Good chunks of damage here, almost 200 grand. I think we do a little bit more to this guy here before time runs out here, or before he dies. I think somebody else gets this kill too. One hit. But at least we'll get the cap then, though, which is good for our XP and credit earnings, right? So we'll take that. Take the shot here. I probably could have aimed a little higher. Is he slowing down? No, he's good. Alright, we're fine. All 4 bullets. Overpen, though. Like, I wish Georgia was this accurate, right? Like, with... because you get the 6 bullets with Georgia. It's so frustrating. There goes high caliber. And yeah, I just as I tout the accuracy, everything misses there. We don't have the best angle on him. All right, we'll make up an excuse. Probably user error again. So we're going to finish him off, and then we're going to oh, I do get the kill for that one. So we did end up with 4 kills. 196,000 damage there. That might be my lowest scoring, or my lowest damage game of the... oh no, we got 201. It hadn't added us in yet, but 3,400 XP, right? So that's a really great XP score. But then, we'll do some more damage here. All right, so this is where... Just watch this opening. This is just a moment of silence for this BA Montana. Arthas. What is that, like 2/3 of his health? 57,000 damage? He's gonna be moving back, towards the back of the map now. So, but then I'm like, alright, like, he's still kind of broadside. We're a little bit further away. Right? We get angled. He takes a bad hit from somebody else there, too. And then we just don't get quite the connections that we did out of that first level. He is turning out now, and he's like right at the edge of our firing range too. But yeah, wait, land 57k and 1 salvo there. It's that's a little chunky. That's a chunky monkey. And we've got a nice broadside Hindenburg here, and we're gonna struggle with getting these hits as well. He starts backing up is the problem here in my perceptive skills, whatever you want to call it. Right, I'm just like not making the right choices as I let these bullets fly. I think I'm just like overly excited after you get that big hit and you're just like, all right, I'm invincible, and then you just suck it up the rest of the game. But he's backing up and then he turns in while backing up, which I also wasn't expecting too. So I think he's trying to get himself undetected by probably our destroyer that's spotting him right now, right? So he probably doesn't realize there's one up to the northeast side of the map too that's keeping him spotted as well. So we kept taking the salvos here. This game too, this is going to be a really good example of pay attention to the mini map. I mean, I would like to say most games are like that, right? But so you can see we've kind of pushed away. We've got, somebody else, Yamato finishes him up. Right, we've got a destroyer way up north on our team on this side. We got one in the middle and one down all the way on the bottom left of the map. Right, so great, like, you know, distribution of destroyers. I'll take that every game of the, you know, every day of the week, right? But the three battleships, right? Most of their battleships have kind of gotten pushed back, and it's probably credit to, but you know, like not just us, but these destroyers too, probably sending torpedoes through there, and then so they must not have destroyer support, right, to spot things for them, and so it's kind of forcing them back into the corner here. They don't have things that they can shoot. There's bullets flying from three battleships at them, plus these destroyers on our team sending torpedoes through there. Right, so if you look at the minimap, right, we can see at least the two enemy destroyers had gotten spotted down sort of the bottom left corner of the minimap. So I'm already trying to start to plan ahead here. We've got a good shot on this Musashi, but I'm kind of thinking at some point, right, I hate getting put on destroyer duty. Yeah, decent Citadel hit there. But it's gonna happen here, right? So we know that those two destroyers at one point, like, why wouldn't they head towards our zone? It is capture the base game after all, right? So I'm paying attention to whether or not I am spotted as we kind of come around this corner here and we break line of sight from this Musashi. So I know that one of those destroyers, since we're still spotted, most likely one of those destroyers has line of sight on us. And I'm going to guess he's close to our base, right? So it's kind of just giving me that little bit of a hint there. Somebody's probably getting close. We do go undetected here. And so, yeah, one gets spotted there. I'm looking at the minimap, right? Looking at the minimap while I'm firing at this Yamato. All right, both of them are down there. Yep, so that's probably what was spotting us before. Doesn't have line of sight on us right now. We'll take advantage of this for a little bit. But they're going to team up and take out our Shimikaze. And so we, like, there's nothing between them and our base now, right? So I'm already turning away here. I know I'm gonna want to start heading towards our base soon at some point, and we're gonna have to make maneuvers to avoid torpedoes, right? We just have such a good shot on this Yamato, and we're still undetected, right? So I'm gonna take advantage of this as long as I can. But yeah, it puts us up to 128,000 damage as it is. We'll keep taking these shots because they're just oh so perfect. If only they would do exactly what we want. Arthas is ready. We'll trip him. Blanc, there goes about half his health. Puts us up to 170. It's always nice to see lots of Yamatos out there when you're in a ship like this. And then that Musashi's almost gone too here, right? So we'll see if we can play a little bit of cleanup. But yeah, we're spotted now. Of course, that Yamato's got line of sight on us. So it's potentially him spotting us. But right, we know that the other destroyer is probably headed towards our base, right? So we're just waiting. It's just a matter of time at this point. There's a Prussian coming around the corner here as well. So right, so let's start moving. We'll have him to shoot at while we're heading towards the base here. Right, those two other battleships, right? They've gotten pushed so far back, right? And then we get detected here before we get line of sight on this Prussian, right? So we know that enemy destroyer is probably pretty close to our base here. So we'll start moving. We'll fire at this guy while we're on our way. But right, we need to do some zigging and zagging here, and then we've got the sonar as well. But yeah, this firing angle, man, this is great. Like, being able to angle this much and still get those turrets in the front on target, right? He hits us pretty decent. But yep, there's our base getting capped. I'm calling it out, but the reality is, right, like, we're on the blue team. We're going to have to take care of this ourselves. And then I'm literally turning away with, like, anticipation of, like, all right, we need to, like, approach this with caution here. But we're going to have to turn back at some point. 183,000 damage now. Yeah, so I'm keeping the guns on the starboard side, right? Because I know I'm going to end up turning back in here. And I also just don't want to give too much angle to this Prussian, but he is looking at somebody else now, so we actually don't have to worry about him. So we'll take advantage of the fact that he's not firing at us, and we'll make our turn now. So since we're going to be broadside to him, and then we'll just head straight towards the base, because it looks like, from the looks of it, this is going to be cutting it close here, right? By the time we need to make it into their base to at least slow down their capture. We do have a destroyer on our team, capping their base, so that's there's potential there, right? We just need to even the odds here and get our base contested, right, so that they're not continuing with this cap. There is the 200,000 damage mark, and Yamato finishes him off. And we've got a very expensive Loria out here. Yep, now so it's right. So trip to the sonar there, right? I kind of tried to wait as long as I could, like comfortably wait, because the sonar only lasts a minute. The range on it's great, right? And I timed that just right? Like I'm like, all right, we're heading towards the base. I'm going in a straight line to try and get there as quick as I can. We can only do that for what, maybe like 30 seconds or so that we did that for, right? So then we tripped that sonar, and that just saved our butts like immensely right there. Loria looks like he might not be looking at us, so we can take advantage of that, and we can give up a little bit of sidewall. Make sure we get all the turrets on target. He's getting torpedoed. Right, I'm just going to keep... Oh, he did take a shot at us. I'm just going to keep pushing into our zone to try and find this destroyer. Right, we've got the... not just by making it into the base here, that kind of gives us the win here. And yeah, we had a few seconds left on the sonar, so that picked up this torpedo. It's a single torpedo, so that must be the, the Daring, right? The British one. British destroyer can shoot those single launch torpedoes, right? So we'll keep pushing up on him. I think in the event that, like, you know, we didn't have the guaranteed win now at this point, right? Like, we could potentially, like, once we got into the zone, we could kind of maneuver away to try and, like, save our ship. But at this point now, it doesn't matter if I die. So I'll just keep pushing up, seeing if we can go aggressive on him and get lucky and pick him up or push him out of the zone. Or he may just try and, you know, stick it out, right? He may be stubborn, try and stick in the zone, because that's kind of his only chance to win anyway. He does take the torpedo shot at the cruiser instead of us. Maybe he got sick of us dodging torpedoes. Doesn't realize my sonar ran out. But that does give us an idea of kind of which direction he is, right? Just because we can base, you know, just kind of get an idea where those torpedoes came from. So it's kind of off to this side a little bit, I'm guessing, right? We do have 2 minutes left before we've got our sonar ready, so probably have their base captured by then. But I'm going to we're going to move this way for a few seconds, right? And then we're going to start turning in. Yep, there's torpedoes. He's using that single launch again. Yep. So trying to call out where he might be on the minimap. We've got, battleship players just throwing bullets in that direction. We'll turn in now. Right, it's kind of like, you know, go this way for 30 seconds, make a turn. Go this way for 30 seconds, make a turn, right? Like, yeah. We're so slow and sluggish. If he times it right, like, he could just get all torpedoes on us. Get 5 hits there, and that gives us Confederate. We'll get loaded here. Secondaries are decent, but I wouldn't build into the secondaries on this thing, right? We do get a couple hits there. Right, since we're running Franz von Hipper, his base trade gives us that extra secondary range, right? But we're not playing into that at all. You definitely want to build into the main guns. This bad boy is a sniper. 2900 XP puts us at the top of the board for this one again. Only made about $72,000 there. Credits, whatever you want to call it. Alright, there is our initial salvo with Arthas going there. It wasn't all that great, so I started the game here, and with the in the interest of not making this video 2 hours long, right? Let's cut out the couple minutes in the beginning here. So we're back in the background here. I get it, I know, but we've kind of gotten pushed up because this destroyer had spotted us early on, so it kind of forced me to turn and angle away. We will get back in the fight right now that we know where he is. I typically take a look at the board, right, and see like what ships we're up against right early on in the game. So we knew I'm pretty sure that was the Shimikaze that we saw there, right? So, and then we probably had torpedoes. I don't remember, but anyway, right. So we got kind of pushed back, And so we need to get ourselves back in range, back in the fight here. We can help with the destroyer, right? He's in range. We can help with him if somebody can spot him. He's sitting in his smoke screen back there just trying to get the cat. Yeah, see somebody's calling out our square. What are you guys doing back there? I'm like, I need intel. That's what. I can shoot half the map with this ship. Like, give me some intel. Alright, Schlieffen shows up. He's hanging back pretty far back too here. We'll wait till all the turrets are ready here, see if we get spotted. No, we don't, so we're good there. We'll keep moving around this side, see what happens. At least for the time being. We are down 3 ships now, right? That we've lost 3, they've only lost the 1. So we've got some making up to do. Decent shot there. We will pop the fighter for Arthas power. Good chunk on that one. We're going to keep picking on him just since he's the only thing here available for us. We lose another ship. The good thing is we still have 1 destroyer. But we're in a position where we could start taking some hits to try and draw some heat away from our team, and we're just kind of out of position here. So I'm trying to get myself up there, right? The ship's just kind of slow. We're going to be strong side on this side of the map now. So we're going to have to kind of work our way towards the other side and try and fight what comes this direction from the Reds here. Schlieffens are always going to be hard to get those Citadel hits on. But we get one there! And he's dead. Now Vermont, now that would be nice if there wasn't that land in the way, that mountain. What is that? Our defense there takes a bad hit there. Got Alaska also shielded by the land here, right? Really need my team to start playing a little more conservative than they are, especially that destroyer. And I think their destroyer that's left ends up being the Shimikaze. Or a Shimikaze. So yeah, so our Shimikaze gets at Alaska, right? But he is, he has really put himself out there, right? So he's got like hardly any health left. This Kronstadt doesn't really know that we're here right now, right? So we're going to take this, make sure to get all 4 turrets off there. And then we'll time Arthas as he turns just a little bit more, which was nice of him. And get most of his health there. And damage the turret as well. So that causes him to try and bow tank us, right? Turn in, so he's angled a little bit better. Which is fine, that's what I would do. I do like the name Arby Sauce, though. That's some good stuff. Alright, so we're evening out ship count now. But they're going to have zones here, especially if they get the B-hole. And that Vermont is a very healthy Vermont here still, too. And then we've got to keep in mind there is a destroyer left, right? So we're going to keep an eye on when and if we get spotted here. That's going to be key to winning this game. Can't quite hit the defense, right? It's that little island symbol by your aiming, by your reticle, whatever you want to call it, right? That little mountain symbol on the bottom right. Right, that means you're going to hit the land, if you don't know that. So I'm just trying to get myself in position to be able to shoot these guys. Took that shot at the Vermont just because that's really all we had, but all we got was a bounce. I mean, I'll take the defend ribbon, right? So we get picked up, right? We get spotted now. It's tough to tell if it's that Vermont that can see us, but we have to assume the worst here. Now, there are a lot of torpedoes out here, too. I know the defense has some, right? There's an enemy defense, but that's quite a few. And I think he launched since 4 or 5 out of the front of each side, so he's got like 10, right? Those could be all the defense, but we're going to assume the worst, right? I'm going to assume the worst, that there's a Shimikaze somewhere between me and the B hole here, or out to our left here, out to the west, right? So we're going to run into that situation where I'm just kind of trying to think in my head, you know, when this, if it's the destroyer, when he potentially spots me, and then we see some torpedoes off to our left there, right? We saw those. So that's key. We know he's further out here with us. So I'm going to keep heading in that direction. The Vermont goes around the corner here, so I actually don't have to worry about him shooting us. So I'm going to keep heading this direction, and we're going to try and time our sonar here. Yeah, there's those torpedoes from that defense. So he looked like he was going to run aground, and then so I fired the guns, and then of course our Yamato took him out. So I tripped sonar here, right? We've got sonar going. This is 6-kilometer range sonar, right? And I'm going to keep moving in that direction that we thought that Shimikaze was, right? Because there's a good chance he was plowing towards us, right? Because he came all the way over from A, and sure enough, we pick him up with the sonar there. So we could see him on the mini-map. We take our shot at the GK, and then, it's a Hayate, that's what it was. All right, so, yeah, so sonar is 6 kilometers, so he drops his smoke, and he's still spotted. We actually have, the secondaries are with he's inside that secondary range, too. I think it's like 6 or 7 kilometers with, Franz von Hipper on here. So we're able to get him, right? So that's huge for us, just having that little, that was like 50-50 luck and just timing of that sonar, right? Like, we got lucky there. But yeah, so you kind of assume, like, when they're coming from the other side of the map, they're heading towards you. And so if I kept, we kept plowing towards him, and it took him some time to turn around, try and drop his smoke, and by then it was too late. We were able to pick him up with the sonar. So we don't have the shot on this Vermont, right? He's kind of tucked behind the corner here. And we're going to rely on our team not to throw this game away. It's going to be a big one here. So again, I'm in this situation where I've got a lot of health that we could put ourselves out there a little bit more to try and draw fire away. Both my teammates have decent amounts of health too, but the cruiser, you can always lose those in an instant. So we'll try and move up here. I'm going to guess, so we've got, the Vermont, and then there's the GK that's in he's going to head towards the Charlie Cap, right? Like, that's what I would do. So I'm going to do this, right? So if you didn't know, right, you can use the overhead camera, which is like your left bumper on consoles, right? And whichever way you were looking when you go into the overhead camera, you can see the little, the ship, outline or model or whatever down at the bottom. You can see that my guns are still aimed in that direction, right? So I use the overhead camera a lot to, like, kind of, if I want those rear turrets or whatever to move in a direction while I look in a different direction, you can use the overhead camera there. So Vermont was backing up, right? It gets the dev strike on our Yamato there. So now I've got to, which, right, he knew where to shoot. He punched him probably right through the face. Right, so probably overmatches the bow armor or whatever, can shoot him through the bow. Right, so we'll move up. Right, this Vermont. I'm gonna guess he would continue to start moving forward now. Right, like, because that's what I would do. So I'm keeping my eye in that direction for him. Then we're also gonna run into the GK's been in the Charlie Cap long enough that he's getting the cap. He's almost done with it. Right, so sure enough, here comes the Vermont. I aimed a little high because he's angled towards us. We'll pop the fighter right as the shells hit. Right before the shells hit. And then, yep, we've got an angle because this GK is coming around the corner here as well. So we'll continue to pick on him. We are up a point right here, right? And they've just got 2 zones. So something needs to happen. We need one of these guys to die. So there goes high caliber for us. The Vermont is lower on health, but if I angle too much to be able to shoot the Vermont, right, this GK is going to have an angle on us. So we're going to have to be really, really careful here. I owe the other half of this game to our cruiser player who goes and rushes at that Vermont, which is, like, super risky, right, like, to go and rush the Vermont. But he's got the torpedoes, right, so he's sending the torpedoes. You can see this battle happening off to the left side of my screen. and he gets away with it. So we give him the nice job, but that was a risky move. But reality, right? Hindsight's 2020. We needed that. We needed that win. Otherwise, these guys would have gotten past us on points. So now it's a matter of like we just probably need both of us to survive here. Not just one of us, right? Like we need both of us because otherwise they're still at the points advantage, right? They're getting 2 ticks per every one of us for points, right? They've got 2 zones, we've got 1. I don't know why he activated his sonar, but you do you. Excuse me. So I'm gonna fast forward this, right? We get this angling war with me versus GK for a little bit here, and I did switch to HE since he was kind of bow in on us. And then I think he realized once he saw the Charlie Cap getting captured that he needed to go and defend that zone that he had captured, right? So we were able to get a nice broadside shot on him, but like at this point the game was, once my cruiser got into the Charlie Cap, that was game over for us. It was just a matter of time, right? So even if he dies, I think we had enough of a point swing that it wouldn't have mattered. So we'll take a look at the leaderboard here. I'll go through the commander build again, right, just to kind of show you I didn't change anything. I think my first game that we showed, I didn't have Arthas yet, or I hadn't tried him out yet. But yeah, 2800 XP puts us at the top of the board for that game. 70,000 silver in earnings. We'll all take that every day for a legendary game, right? This is too long for me to be talking all in a row. But right, aiming system mod, propulsion mod for slot 2 here, concealment for slot 3, and then we're using the reload mod for slot 4. And then, yeah, the artillery is 100, right? Like, it's great. So, yeah, max AP shell damage, like 15,000, right? So, his base trait gives you the secondary guns range, right? But we don't really care too much about that. It is nice to have. It was useful for those couple of situations where we ran into those close range destroyers. But I wouldn't recommend building into the secondaries as your primary build, right? So Arthas and Colorado for my inspirations. If you don't have them, I would just recommend AP shell damage or pen multiplier. And he's got this Knight Spirit, which is increased damage against battleships, right? And then I went with Dispersion here, but you absolutely could use on second thought for the 5% better reload if you wanted. And then I go range for the last row, and then will to rebuild for the legendary perk. And as always, you could use Fight Fire with Fire too, right? But yeah, Arthas, right? So I only have him up to 7, and the catapult fighter duration is minus 48. I think when you get him maxed out, it only goes down to minus 35, right? So, but yeah, it was like every time I'm like, 100% win rate. But I've already ruined it, guys. Don't worry about it. It's long gone. Okay, I think game 4 is where I screwed it up, and it was just. My team got crushed, right? So there was no, there was no winning that one. But yeah, so we won't show that game, but that's going to be our video for the day. If you're still here, 40 minutes, that's a long one for me today, right? If you're still here, thanks for sticking around and watching and hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. You guys do make this fun for me. I love that everybody that comments and hangs out on live streams and chats with me and stuff. You guys make it fun, so I really do appreciate that. But yeah, if you're following the channel, right? If you're not following the channel, please do subscribe. I appreciate that as well. I try to do a Legends video every day. So if you are following, we'll see you guys tomorrow.